Okay, folks, this shouldn't be a very long video. This is your review for the Topic A quiz, which you have either on Monday or Tuesday of next week. If you're my kiddos, you have it on Tuesday. Miss Blair's A kiddos on Monday, B kiddos on Tuesday. So, write each of the following statements using symbolic language and state whether they would be linear or nonlinear equations and explain why. So first off, you should know some of the words that you need as far as word problems. So square is a keyword, times is a keyword, and more than is a keyword. So when you square 5 times a number. So first off, we need 5 times a number. 5 times x is 5 times a number. To square that, we put it in parentheses. And squaring it means to the second power. This is 5 times the number squared, or squaring 5 times the number. Then it says you get, which means it equals 3 more than a number. Correct math says more than is a switch, but also addition. So instead of saying 3 plus, it's really plus 3 more than the number. The number is x. So right now we have 5x squared equals x plus 3. The second part of this says, is it linear or nonlinear, and why? For this problem, it is non-linear. Because notice here that from module 1, we would have had to multiply each exponent by the exponent on the outside. So it's nonlinear because x has an exponent greater than 1. So remember, linear, it's just x. There is no thing greater. Monica had some cookies. Okay, Monica has them. She gave 7 to her sister. So here's Monica's cookies, is x. She gave 7 to her sister, so it's x minus 7. Then she divided that remainder into 2 halves. So if she's dividing it into 2 halves, we have x minus 7 divided by 2. That's her dividing it into 2 halves. Then she still has 5 cookies left. So that means it's equal to how much? Equal to the 5 cookies she has left. That's not the only way that you could do this, though. So when I see the 2 halves, I still have my x minus 7 in parentheses. And if she divides it into 2 halves, well, I take it by the half. And she still had 5 cookies left, which means it still equals the 5 cookies she had left. Either one work. You will have 2 questions like this on your quiz. So one more time, now we need to come here and say, is it linear or nonlinear? And we're going to say it's linear because x has a 1 as an exponent. So we've now done 1 and 2. These are 2 of your harder questions on the test. I'm telling you right now, these are the 2 harder questions. Okay, moving on. Let's get to some of the easier questions. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. There it is. Okay, is 8 a solution, and explain? My explanation is going to be with my work. So is 8 a solution? What that really means, does x equal 8? That's what that question's asking. So now I have 1/2 times x, which is 8, plus 9 equals 13. So I do the work. 1/2 of 8 is 4, plus 9 equals 13. 13 equals 13. Yes, it is a solution. And again, if you're like, well, how do I explain it? You explain it by showing work. You could also say, when substituting in 8, we do get 13 as an answer. Is -3 a solution to the equation? So again, that means x needs to be equal to -3. So one more time, I'm going to come over here so I have a little bit more work. And I'm going to do 3 multiplied by -3 because x is -3 minus 5 equals 4 plus 2 times -3. So show your work. 3 times -3 is -9 minus 5 equals 4 didn't get touched, minus 6. This is -14 equals -2. Those are not equal. So x equaling -3 is not a solution. I'm telling you for myself that for an explanation, you better show the substitution. You better show the work, okay? You should be ecstatic seeing questions like this because your calculator will do all of the work for you. Let's see what else we got here. I think question 5 is similar as well. Nope, now we're solving. Okay, so now we're just to our equations. My kiddos, you know that we have steps that we're following. So you should be getting out your steps to solve equations. Step 1, find a balance point. Step 2, distribute if needed. There is no distributing. Step 3, combine all like terms on the same side. Well, I do have like terms on the same side. I have 7x and a positive x. When we're combining like terms on the same side, it does not have anything to do with inverses. So 7x plus x is 8x. The negative 4 comes down, equals 12. Step 4, combine variables on opposite sides. We don't have variables on opposite sides, but we do have constants, and that's step 5. Combine constants on opposite sides using the inverse of addition or subtraction. So I need to move things away from the x. Negative 4, add 4. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. 8x comes down, equals 12 plus 4 is 16. Last step, isolate the variable using multiplication or division. Well, it's already multiplication, so the inverse is division. X equals 2. So there's number 5. Number 6. A little bit longer, a little bit tougher. Step 1, find your balance point. Step 2, distribute if needed. What we do on both sides. This negative is what we're distributing. So 5x didn't get touched. 5x comes down. Negative times an x is negative x. Negative times a positive 3 is negative 3. If you need to think of this as a negative 1, do so. Still distributing. 1/3, 1/3. 1/3 of 9 is 3x's. 1/3 of 18 is positive 6. Negative 5 drops down. Step 2, we just did was distribute if needed. Step 3, combine all like terms on the same side. I can combine my variables, which leaves me 4x minus 3 equals, combine my constants, because those are like terms still. 3x drops down, plus 1. Step 4, combine variables on opposite sides, 4x, 3x, using inverses of addition and subtraction. I personally will always move my smaller variable. Positive 3x, the inverse of a positive 3x is subtract 3x. 3x minus 3x is 0, leaves me 1 equals, I didn't touch my negative 3, that leaves me x. Combine your constants on opposite sides, leaves me x equals 4. I'm done. You will see 3 equations just like these on your test. I keep saying test, hopefully you know it's a quiz. Oh, number 7. Balance point. Distribute. Nope. Combine like terms on the same side. Yep. So now I have 5x minus 8 equals 11 plus 5x. I move my variables by doing the inverse. That leaves me negative 8 equals 11. Does negative 8 equal 11? No. If you leave that, that is not an answer to the equation. That would be marked wrong if you're in my class. Because negative 8 doesn't equal negative 11, the correct answer is no solution. Okay? Last equation. Maybe. Come on back up. Okay. So cross multiplication, these are proportions. The key to these is making sure that you put the terms that have more than one term in parentheses. So 3 multiplied by all, 5 multiplied by all. Then it's just like solving an equation. Balance point, distribute, 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 distribute. 33x minus 27 equals 25x minus 40. Combine variables using inverses of addition or subtraction. That leaves me 8x minus 27 equals now negative 40. Move things away from the variable, add 27. Leaves me 8x equals negative 13. Divide by 8. X equals, and it will give you a decimal. If you're in my class, I don't want a decimal. I don't know what Miss Blair wants, but I don't want a decimal. So once you get that decimal in your calculator, press second table and enter, and we cannot simplify it, so it leaves me with -13/8. Last but not least, last one but not least one more word problem that I think is easy, but hopefully you will as well. This combines what we did. So notice, write an equation, solve, and answer the question. There's a bunch to this, okay? So, given a right triangle, find the measure of all of the angles. That's what it's asking, in degrees, if one angle is a right angle and the measure of the second angle is 6 less than 7 times the measure of the third angle. So first off, we need to know a couple things. Right triangle, we know, has this angle right here, which is 90 degrees. We know that all three angles of a triangle have to equal 180. So I know that 90 plus something. Okay. If one angle is a right angle, got it, and the measure of the second angle is 6 less than 7 times the measure of the third angle. So less than is one of those switches again. So 7 times the measure of the third angle, so 7x, minus is the less than, the measure of the second angle is 6 less, so minus 6. So this is one of the angles right here. What's the other angle? So 7x minus 6 is the second angle. The third angle is 7 less than the measure of the third angle, which just is x. So now I solve. Combine like terms. 7x is 8x. 90 minus 6 is 84. Okay, well, I can't leave it as 84 8x. It's a positive 8x equals 180. I subtract 84 from both sides. That leaves me 8x equals 96. I divide by 8. X equals, and that goes in once, leaves me 16, so that gives me 12. So if one of the angles is x, one of these angles is 12 degrees. How am I going to find the third one? Well, here's the other angle. It's 7 times 8 minus 6. So that's 56 minus 6, which should be 50. Oh, no, where did I get 8 from? Hold on, pause, wait a minute. Let's go back. I'm wrong. X is 12. That makes more sense. So that gives me 84 minus 6, which gives me 78. So my other angle is 78 degrees. You're going to need to show me something like this. 78 plus 12 is 90, plus 90 is 180. We can check this one off the box. You have a quiz on Monday or Tuesday. Make sure you ask either myself or Miss Blair if you have any questions. Have a great weekend, folks.